come on out to Brown Mountain Bottle Works at 115 East Union Street in Morganton, North Carolina. The place to be for great craft beer. Browse their shelves filled with hundreds of craft beer selections. Relax and enjoy one of their 8 draft taps. Show your love for the store with their logoed t-shirts, hats, and glassware. Want to see what they have in stock 24 hours a day? Check out their website at www.brownmountainbottleworks.com. We'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Glenn. This is Dave. We're NC Beer Guys. We promote NC Craft Beer online, ncbeerguys.com. We do these videos to introduce you to some of the great beers that are available across the state. And today we've got something very special for you. We were very fortunate to get our hands on this Fonta Flora Bloody Butcher Appalachian style Grisette. And the Grisette and the Bloody Butcher part of the corn comes from the Fox Farm Bloody Butcher corn. I will explain that in just a little bit.
Yeah, because I have absolutely no idea
what we're drinking.
What this is.
What this is.
What is a Grisette?
We just knew
what is Bloody Butcher, and why do we have it?
All right. Grisette, to answer your questions,
okay.
originated in France, specifically in some region in southern France.
We are from France.
It was mostly regarded as a working class beer of the miners or factory workers in the region, much like Saison was considered a farmer's beer. So the farmers had their Saison.
Okay.
The miners and some of the other working types that got off the farm, the maidens, the Grisette in French, maidens, Grisettes, however they're called, and that means something about they wore gray. Gris means gray in France. Would serve the miners as beer as they were coming out.
So is it lower than is it lower class than a farmhouse ale?
Probably higher class than farmhouse because it was.
It's miners.
There were some that were at least off the farm working.
Oh, okay.
So typically low alcohol, light bodied, Saison like golden ales of no great distinction.
Lower.
Great distinction.
This reminds me of the whole thing. So this reminds me of the IPAs. If you go back to what an IPA is about. It was like a double IPA for the officers on the ships that were going to India, and all the other guys got what's left over.
IPA.
So they all got the regular and the pale ale versions.
And to answer your other question, Bloody Butcher corn is a blood red corn originating in the 1800s by mixing Native American corn, Indian corn. You see Indian corn ears, with the white settler seeds for seed corn. And from some of my research today, some of the guys in the mountains during seasonals, you'll see them hanging corn on the door. That's often that red corn they use. It's not really Indian corn anymore. It's now Bloody Butcher corn.
Bloody Butcher. To keep Jason away.
Maybe so. So the official description out of Fonta Flora, and we'll just jump back. Fonta Flora does great things. They're in Morganton, and Todd is so inventive, and he's like a forager.
Yes,
in a sense, he just goes out his back door or goes out in the fields around Morganton, and whatever he can find
makes us dandelion IPAs.
He might be making beer out of a dandelion root.
He did.
Or
IPA.
a sweet potato or anything else he feels in the field. And he did something with some kind of grain that's like unusual. I forget what it was. So anyway, they do great things at Fonta Flora, and he's on the cutting edge of different brew styles. Oh, it looks like a farmhouse ale. Like I say, it looks like kind of like a cream ale actually. With corn, it would make sense because it's a cream ale. But it's not red. I thought it might be a little red to it.
No, I guess the corn doesn't even pass that.
Maybe not. So the description out of Fonta Flora is the Appalachian Grisette, and this is what this is an Appalachian style Grisette.
Okay.
Super rustic Appalachian style working class beer featuring local barley, wheat, and rye from Riverbend Malt House in Asheville. So it's to keep it local.
Very good. Very good.
Heritage Bloody Butcher red corn.
Okay.
Sorghum cane juice. Now think back where I've talked to you about sorghum makes molasses.
Oh, it does.
But the sugar cane, the kind is the sorghum.
Okay.
And if you cook it down enough, you get molasses.
Oh.
But if you don't cook it to that degree, you don't have molasses, you have this sweetness called sorghum.
Okay. And I got that lesson because I brewed with molasses.
And toasted sorghum seeds.
Wow.
All from Fox Farms in Burnsville, North Carolina.
Good. That's great.
So now you know about a Grisette, you know about bloody corn, you know what the description of this is.
And you know it came from Fonta Flora.
And
Yes.
foodandwine.com named this one of the 9 beers to toast with on New Year's Eve instead of champagne.
Oh, okay,
so,
there you go.
And what they said, I cut and pasted this. It says, want to jumpstart the next year with a hot beer trend. Grisette, like a lighter Saison.
Grisette.
Well, I don't know how you say it. I don't know how you say it.
I'm telling you.
Well, you don't know necessarily how to say it.
I know.
That's the Long Island way of saying it. You don't know how I say it.
It's a double T. It's Grisette.
All right. It's a style that's set to make a breakthrough in 2016.
Okay.
And though you probably won't find it at your local grocery store, Bloody Butcher Appalachian Grisette
Thank you.
from North Carolina's Fonta Flora is one of the best beers I've tried this year. Funky, complex, and a bit crazy.
Ooh, I can't
It's what foodandwine.com said about this beer late last year in anticipation of New Year's.
Good.
So we are just so excited to get this, and thanks Gant for bringing it to us out of the mountains.
Yep.
But he went by Fonta Flora and got it because they had a bottle release maybe September, October, I don't know when they had it, and some time ago, and got us a couple bottles, and we're anxious to try it. So it comes up with a great, nice,
it's hazy,
very substantial head though.
It was
nice lacing.
Yep.
It is hazy, unfiltered. I really still think it looks like a cream ale in the color.
Just the hazy cream ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the goldenness of it.
Okay, so now
What do you think about the aroma?
it's like a wild ale aroma.
Yeah, it's a little sour in the smell, isn't
It's got
it?
a little wild ale in it.
But I hadn't heard anybody say, well, they did say it was like a Saison, a farmhouse ale, which can run to sours. But nobody actually said it was a sour.
I'm not saying it's a sour
It
either.
smells like it.
It has that aroma of one. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to taste like that.
And I will tell you that one of the guys who tried it in the effort to bring it to us, it wasn't his style.
Well, and that happens.
That's right. And what have we said?
Like everything else, everybody has their own style. We're not here to judge. We're here to enlighten and let you know about it. You may love it, you may not like it, but that's the whole point of having your choice.
That's right.
That is the greatest thing about craft beer is there's thousands and thousands of beers out there, and you may not like a certain style. That's fine. Choose another one. It's all out there. When someone tells you, I don't like beer, you're like, really? Have you tried all 140 styles?
Right.
So that's why. This is why craft beer is awesome.
And probably Grisette is not even one of the 140 styles. Probably. It's probably one of the add-ons. Who knows?
I'd have to check BJCP.
5.2% alcohol by volume.
Okay, that's kind of sessionable, almost.
Yeah, it shouldn't be overwhelming.
Can I have it now?
Am I through talking?
Yes.
Oh, our bottles are numbered too. It's a limited run, only 670 bottles.
I want that label.
And we have number 35. We're drinking bottle number 35. I'm not thinking this is going to be my kind of beer.
It's mine.
Is it run through or sour?
It's like a mild sour. I'd almost say it's kind of like a Berliner Weiss.
But you know, while if you followed us for all the years we've been around, you know, at first I was not much of an IPA drinker. Now a lot of IPAs are very appealing to me if they're not overly hot. And I'm not much of a sour drinker, but I've come to think some of the sours like this is kind of appealing to me.
This is really good. I actually probably should save some for my wife. To let her try
She
it.
might like this because she liked Brett's a while.
Because, yeah, what she fell in love with is Fonta Flora's Carolina custard. And I want to get my hands on that, Todd. So,
I kind of like
this is nice. This is like a mild sour.
Exactly.
I'd call it that. I mean, maybe that's what Grisette is. Maybe it's just a version of the Saison. But this is wonderful. It's just, and it's not crazy sour. This is
no. Oh, I wouldn't be caring about
this
it at all.
is so nice. It's a great level that you can enjoy it. I would almost put it that you'd want this for a summer beer. I mean, because this is really refreshing and it's got a lot of carbonation.
It could be very good in the summer, but of course it was released in the winter and fall.
Right, my opinion.
But I think it's like a year round. It's what they had to drink.
Okay,
frankly.
And it's great. It's got a lot of prickly mouthfeel on it.
Yeah, very much.
Which is nice and refreshing. So it's really, and you notice how I filled my glass up because I think it's really enjoyable.
I kind of think so too, though. I wasn't thinking I would have cared about this, but this is not.
This is wonderful.
If you think, like I do sometimes, that you're not into sours,
right?
You should probably try something like this.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. This is
or this
nice
one. If you get your hands on one of the 670 bottles.
It doesn't say like you said, you didn't know what a Grisette was going to be, and you didn't know, but just the flavor itself came out like that, and that's wonderful.
But sometimes you have to trust your brewer. Very few things we've had out of Todd that we didn't find appealing for the style it was.
Right.
Which doesn't mean it's always our style of drink.
He's got a great palate.
But he's pushing the envelope on all the edges.
Yep.
And if you're sitting in Morganton,
oh my God, I'm jealous.
I mean, and you've got such a gem there. This guy who is on the cutting edge of NC beer, doing all the right things and coming up with all these inventive, creative, inspired,
and local.
And you couldn't be no more local than going to Burnsville and getting the Bloody Bushel corn, which nobody even ever heard of, the rest of the state, and brewing with it, and then brewing a Grisette, which nobody's ever heard of.
Right. And have it come out as great as this.
Exactly. So, I mean, you just got to give kudos to the people who are doing the cutting edge things.
Yep. Absolutely.
And of course, we thank the world of Todd and Fonta Flora. We never had anything bad out of Fonta Flora. We've had things that were not as palatable as others because it wasn't to our style.
Sure.
But this is
excellent. And that's subjectivity.
That's what beer is. That's what craft beer is.
You can be subjective. Wonderful.
I think so too. Yep. I'm just really surprised that I like this beer.
Yep.
But this will not be
it's another surprise.
This won't be a pour down this thing off camera. This will be drunk.
When did we ever do that?
There's been a few that
we're just tired of it.
I didn't finish.
Right, because we're tired.
Sometimes you drink it.
That's right.
Sometimes you drink the rest.
That's right, because that's what I'm here for.
So we won't say go out to Fonta Flora and try to grab any of this because we don't expect there's any of those
availability.
Those 670 bottles.
But if it's around, make sure if you see it.
If a buddy got one when it came out in September, October, whenever it came out,
tell your buddy to share it.
Yeah, make sure you get in on that drinking session.
That's right.
But more importantly, probably is next time you hear that Fonta Flora's coming out with a limited release or a special something.
Grab it.
Or make sure you get your butt to the State of Origin Festival in Morganton.
Yes.
Where Todd does all these great things and shows all the great, and so much ties what he's doing to the local community there.
Yep.
That's what craft beer is all about. Craft, in my mind, as I've said before, means local and tied to the community.
Yep.
You couldn't be more tied than Todd is to Morganton.
Yep.
This is a great example of it. You may not get this one, but try out something else he's got limited.
Yep. Or
his regular stuff, which is never regular. Todd has no regulars.
There's no regulars.
Because there's always something great going on.
That's right. Absolutely.
So a shout out to Todd at Fonta Flora, and try the Bloody Butcher Appalachian style Grisette.
Yep.
With Bloody Butcher corn from the Fox Farm in Burnsville.
Good.
And as always, this is David Glenn reminding you to drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.